What's going on, guys? It's Finney here, and today I thought I would show off some of the new units that we have brought to Shinigami World. Uh, one being our newest swimsuit edition, being Swimsuit Rukia. This is her model. Uh, this is her kit and setup. As you can see, she got some decent growths. Bit of a speedster. The reason is we decided to make her a support unit in the traditional sense. You know, giving you your buffs, causing debuffs, stuff like that. There. As you can see, attacks enemy vanguard and assaulter for 250% damage. Casts void for 1 turn. Increases allied assaulters and supporters damage rate by 50% for 2 turns. Also grants ally supporters stat debuff immunity and restores 40 fury to them. So alone, she's very solid for giving damage increase and giving that stat buff immunity. So you can actually get some turns going off with some of your team. And that's just her skill. That's not including what her modifiers do. So let's have a look. So we have increase own HP by 25% and all allies avoid injury rate by 20% while in battle. So once she dies, obviously the avoid injury rate disappears and stuff. But the HP increase and the avoid injury rate increase should make everybody a bit tanky, which is hella nice. Increase own speed by 20% when another living female ally is present. Increase own speed by another 15%. So you can pair her off with Can't Fear Your Own World Harry Bell, Can't Fear Your Own World Nell, stuff like that there. Boost her speed up even more. Definitely guarantee you those buffs. Tier 3 is immune to fury reduction and mutilation. Stops her losing her fury, stops her from down to mutilation dot. When attacked, has a 50% chance to cleanse removable debuffs from self and restore HP equal to 5% of the living's team's total physical attack. So she can basically self cleanse, and she gives a bit of extra survivability to the team as soon as she hits tier 4 with that HP recovery. 5% may not seem like a lot, but it scales off the physical attack. So, if you have a very solid physical attacker in your team, the HP recovery is going to be hella nice. Tier 5 is reduce all enemies' crit hit and crit hit damage by 20%. And then against a non-main male enemy, reduce all enemies' attack by 25%. So it's Tier 5 is such a strong modification for reducing the possibility of one-shots occurring. Lowers the crit damage, lowers the chance of even getting crit. And then if you go against, Ulquiorra, Grimjow, any other male unit, you're reducing their attack by 25%. So it's already, reducing the damage dealt to your team. So fairly solid for a tier 5. Tier 6, when attacked or being attacked, restore all allies 30% maximum HP and increase their defense by 40% for 2 rounds. So once again, increases the HP recovery, keeps them alive a bit longer, buffs up their defense for 2 rounds. It doesn't stack, but it just replenishes the buff. But that buff is removable, the defense. So, if you compare it off with some buff removers, it can be an interesting fight. But it's a very strong survivability for your team. And then when defeated, reduce all enemies' attack and defense by 30% for 5 rounds. This effect cannot be cleansed. So again, she's given all this defense and survivability while she's in the fight, and then as soon as she dies, she gives more buffs and debuffs to the team and enemy team. So she's not out of the fight completely, as she's holding her own even when she dies. So ultimate mod, very strong also. Let's check out her exclusive. Trying to find her. There we go. So it starts off at attack all enemies for 100% damage, reduce enemy combo rate, and reduce crit hit damage by 30% for 1 round, and increase all allies crit hit rate by 30%. So the combo rate nerf and the crit hit damage nerf is very strong. It does only last for 1 turn at level 70, but it can still have its niche effects, and then the crit hit increase is really, really nice. However, when we upgrade it to level 100, the combo rate and the crit hit damage is reduced by 40%, but it lasts for 2 rounds, and then increase allies crit hit rate by 50%. So she's basically keeping the damage down from the enemy team and still trying to keep your crit hit for your allies through the roof. So pretty strong. I'll see if we can find her. I did use her. There she is there. So she is a supporter. She's in the back there. We will level her up some, and then we'll put her into a fight and see what she's looking like. I just need to make sure I have a gear set up that she can wear. Exchange all. Beautiful. And then hopefully we can end our fight where she doesn't get absolutely throttled. So I can show off her skill. I need to progress in the story for this, but heyo, we'll see if I can survive in here. I don't even know where the end fight is. I think it's so am I. But from her kit, I would say she's a very strong contender to have, and then this is her ultimate skill. So comes in with that lovely ice cold wave and just covers them all in slush. But this is our newest event character, and the reason why we decided to go with Rukia is because we already had a lot of swimsuit and summer type units in there with like sexy Kakaku, sophisticated Rongiku, sexy Yoroichi, or Hime, stuff like that. So we're like, you know what? Let's give another girl a chance. But that's not all we decided to add into Shinigami World. We decided it's time for Tavern to finally get an update, and we released 3 new Tavern units: Chujiro Sasakibe, Mishiro Kuna, and Shinigami Nanao. Chujiro will be Vanguard, and we can upgrade these units to orange, as you can see here. Name change to orange. Mishiro is an assaulter, and then now is a support. So we'll stick these in the team, see what they look like. We discovered that there was models within the game that were not being utilized, so we thought might as well capitalize and release some new Tavern characters. So as you can see, this is what they look like. They're pretty solid. Chujiro is a nice Vanguard that keeps everybody somewhat alive, keeps himself alive. As you can see, he inflicts bleed and increases avoid injury rate by a decent amount, restores all allies HP by 40%. His mods are increase block rate, defense when attacked, which is the crazy one for him. When attacked, inflict 100% bleed on the attacker. So you're constantly feeding dot damage to the enemy team unless they're going out of their way to cleanse that dot. And very little teams have a cleanser for bleed. So you can very easily catch teams out with that bleed. Increases allied assaulters and support aid rate by 40%. Just didn't mediate some of the damage and try and keep them surviving. Aid rate's not very utilized in the game, and not very many units have aid rate. So we thought, we'll spice it up and give them aid rate to see how that would function within the game. And then once per turn, once he hits below 50% HP, he gains extra block rate for the rest of the fight and restores max HP by 40%. The block effect cannot be cleansed, and I believe it overstacks the block limit, and then increases allies, supporters, and allies, assaulters, and supporters defense by 25%. So he's a very solid tanky and a nice little utility with the bleed to fend off some people with Vanguard. Mashiro, kind of our damage dealer. One random enemy, 340% damage rate for our attack, increase on crit rate and break defense by 25%. It helps her reach that crit cap super fast. I think she also breaks the crit limit as well. At the start of each turn, has a chance to restore 50% or 50 fury. You may see funny number here, 69%, but the reason is because Kensei and Shuhei, because of the 69 symbolic symbols, not because of funny number. Increase own crit hit damage by 30%. So we're maximizing the output of damage that she could possibly cause. Has a bit of reduced speed, increase own break defense, and increases combo rate. To try and utilize her with some other assaulters that have nice combo rate. So she can cause a lot of mayhem. And increases all allies attack by 10%, crit hit damage by 30%, including herself. So once again, maximum output damage may only be for the one person, but she is a solid hitter for an assaulter and may cause a lot of damage for free to play players to use, even low spenders to use. And then we have Shinigami Nanao, who is a supporter. Attacks enemy with the lowest HP for a bit of damage, restore all allies fury. So she herself is the new Fury gen. So you can replace Keyscan stuff for her Fury gen. She's immune to silence, fury, deduction, increases own crit hit rate and evasion, which is another name for dodge. When attacked, she generates a small shield of 5% for the whole team. And as you may know, shield is very, very strong in this game, so she does have a bit of utility. Once per battle, once she goes below 30%, she restores her HP and gains massive evasion boost, and it cannot be cleared. She can survive a fatal blow. Basically keeps her in the game for that extra hit. So she can't just be instantly one shot and you lose your fury generator. And then she also gives 100 fury as well to all the units left in the battlefield for your side. And then at the start of the battle, restores 50 fury to self. So you don't need to worry about fury stones for Nanao. You can push them on to your main damage dealer or another support. That way you can work around with one set of Fury Stones if you're a free to play or a low spender. Some of these units might not be viable for big spenders. However, Mashiro is a very solid damage dealer, and Chujiro is a very solid tank for placeholding for whales for whenever they get their main Vanguard or Assaulter. They are also very strong for Yami's Revenge as well, so definitely something to look out for. But hopefully, you've enjoyed the showcasing, and you're. I hope you are glad to see some of the new updates that are being added to Shinigami World. Um, we always keep striving to make updates, and as you can see, they're very regular. And we're not stopping at all. We're just going to keep going and going and going until it's the game that we deserve. So hopefully you've enjoyed, and if you just want to check it out, there's a new server released today, server 4. So hopefully it's a bit lively, and as you can see, pretty solid set of events to join. So definitely check out the game. And until next time, peace, peace.